أعظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم بمصابنا بالحسين عليه السلام، وجعلنا وإياكم من الطالبين بثأره مع وليه الإمام المهدي من آل محمد عليهم السلام. صلى الله عليك يا سيدي ويا مولاي يا رسول الله، صلى الله عليك وعلى أهل بيتك المظلومين، صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله، يا إبرة كل مؤمن ومؤمنة، يا غريب كربلاء. ما خاب والله من تمسك بكم وأمن من لجي إليكم، يا رحمة الله واسعة، يا باب النجاة الأمة، يا ليتنا كنا معكم فنفوز والله فوزا عظيما يا مظلوم كربلاء. My dear brothers and sisters, remember that Bibi is along with us, listening to us and listening and seeing our cries. Hang your heads low when the musibah of Abu Abdullah alayhi salam is being recited. They say that Abu Abdullah alayhi salam, on the 10th of Muharram, all his companions had been taken away from him. When he looks towards his right and his left, he sees that there is no one there with him. Habib ibn Madahir is gone. Muslim ibn Awsaja is gone. You find, for example, the likes of Burayr has been taken away from him. Abu Fadl al-Abbas is no longer standing alongside him. His son Ali al-Akbar and Qasim and Aun and Muhammad. And you find that his infant 6-month-old, his neck has been severed by the 3-pronged harrow. They say that Abu Abdullah alayhi salam thumma nada, and he calls out, Ya Kulthum, Ya Zainab, Ya Sukayna, Ya Ruqayya, alaykunna minna salam. He calls his women and he gives them the final farewell. فَهَذَا آخِرَ الْإِجْتِمَاعِ. It says this is the final time we will meet. فَصَاحَتْ كُلْثُومٍ. She begins to wail and lament, يا أخي كأنك استسلمت للموت. It says you have subdued yourself to maut. Abu Abdullah alayhi salam responds, يا أختا فكيف لا يستسلم من لا ناصر له ولا مؤين. He says, what can a person do when he has no helper to help him and no aider to aid him, not submit to death? Then Kulthum says, Ya akhi raddana ila al-haram jaddina. At least help us go back to our cities, help us return to the city of our grandfather Rasulullah. Abu Abdullah alayhi salam replies, Ya Kulthum, I wish I could, and if I could I would return you to the city of our grandfather Rasulullah. They say at this moment Sukaina begins to cry and lament. Abu Abdullah approaches Sukaina, embraces her, hugs her one final time. He begins to wipe the tears off her face with his sleeves. And then Zainab begins to lament and Zainab begins to cry, and the tears flowed in the eyes of Abu Abdullah. Mahlan laha ya bint al-Murtada. Abu Abdullah says, Ya daughter of Murtada, have patience, have patience. Inna al-buka at-tawil. It says this is not the time to lament and cry, Ya Zainab. The time for crying and lamentation generations will come after. Right now stay strong, O bint al-Murtada. Then Zainab begins to embrace Abu Abdullah. She bids farewell to Abu Abdullah. She begins to kiss his hands and she begins to kiss his feet. Then all of the women surround Abu Abdullah alayhi salam. Now the Imam goes towards the battlefield and he fights a valiant warrior. As a valiant warrior, they say the Imam alayhi salam, وَاشْتَدَّ الْعَطْشِ. They say the thirst begins to become severe for Abu Abdullah. Now there's two narrations. They say that Abu Abdullah alayhi salam enters the Furat. When he enters the river, he takes the water in his hands and is about to drink the water, but what happens? They say an arrow strikes the jaw of Abu Abdullah. They say the water that was in his hands have now become blood, and he throws it away. The second narration, what does it say? It says that when Abu Abdullah alayhi salam, when he enters the river, he takes the water in his hands and is about to drink from this water. The lips of Abu Abdullah have withered away. The tongue of Abu Abdullah has gashed. They say the liver of Abu Abdullah has been affected by the thirst. They say that his eyesight had become blood, as he could not see, as he's about to lift the water in his hands and is about to drink. The enemies came towards him, but before his enemies, they say that as he was about to drink from the water, his horse, the head of his horse went towards the water. Abu Abdullah alayhi salam looks at Zuljana and he says, Anta Atshan wa ana Atshan Wallahi la dhuktu hatta tashrab. He says, my horse, you are thirsty and I am thirsty. Drink from this water. I will not drink unless you drink. And it's as if the horse lowers his head and says to Abu Abdullah, my master, anta ashrab. You, my master, drink. I will not drink before you do. They say that when Abu Abdullah alayhi salam began to raise his hands to drink from the waters, Nada rajulun min al-qawm ya Abu Abdullah, one man, an enemy calls out to Abu Abdullah, ya Abu Abdullah, you drink from this water, but your women are being attacked. They say that Abu Abdullah throws away the water, he jumps out of the river and he goes towards the tents of Zainab. When he reaches the tent, he sees that they are safe and there are no enemies around them. This is how they deceived Abu Abdullah. They tricked him into thinking that his women are being attacked. They say that Abu Abdullah, then he goes back towards the army. He then goes back into the battlefield the second time. When he goes into battle the second time, he fights and he fights until the thirst overpowers him. Until he has become tired, then they began to attack him. They attacked his body. His body is now full of wounds. Abu Abdullah alayhi salam then collapses onto the sons of Karbala and he stays and collapsed. The narrations say that Abu Abdullah alayhi salam was unconscious for 3 hours. For 3 hours the enemies did not know whether he was alive or dead. Then they began coming towards his body. 40 members from the Kufan army, they came around the body of Abu Abdullah. Umar ibn Sa'ad, la'natullahi alayhi, Umar ibn Sa'ad then gives an order to these 40 men. وَيْلْكُمْ عَجِّلُوا عَلَيْهِ. He says, woe unto you, O men, quickly finish him off, behead him and bring me the head of Abdullah. They say the first from amongst these 40, they came towards the body of Abu Abdullah, and he sat alongside the body of Abu Abdullah and he unsheathed his sword. They say that Abu Abdullah then opened his eyes and he saw this person. This person, when he saw the eyes of Abu Abdullah, he drops his sword and he runs away. They said to him, why do you run away? He said, Wallah, I saw the eyes of Rasulullah. Then the second man, he approaches Abu Abdullah, he sits alongside Abu Abdullah, he takes out his sword and he's about to strike the neck of Abu Abdullah. Then Abu Abdullah looks at him, sees him in his eyes, he begins to tremble, he drops his sword and he runs away. They say, who was the third person that came to Rasul Abu Abdullah? It was Shimr ibn al-Jushin. Shimr then comes towards Abu Abdullah and he sits on the chest of Abu Abdullah. The Imam alayhi salam, he looks towards Shimr, and Shimr, he then says to the Imam, he says, Ya Abu Abdullah, I am not like those two. I will slaughter you. I will not run away the way they ran away. Abu Abdullah, he turns to Shimr and he says, Ya Shimr, do you know who I am? Shimr says, I know who you are. You are the son of Fatima al-Zahra. You are the son of Ali al-Murtada. You are the grandson of Rasulullah. But I do not care, and I will slaughter and strike your neck. Abu Abdullah, he looks at Shimr and he says, oh Shimr, if you know who I am, then why do you kill me? He says, it is the wealth that I will get from Yazid. He says, oh Shimr, what is more valuable to you, the coins from Yazid or the shafa'ah of my grandfather Rasulullah? Shimr then replies to Abu Abdullah alayhi salam, he says, one coin from the hands of Yazid is far more valuable than the shafa'ah of Rasulullah. Then they say that Shimr, he grabs the beard of Abu Abdullah, he then exposes the neck of Abu Abdullah, he takes out the dagger and he begins to strike the neck of Abu Abdullah. One strike after another. They say that Shimr struck the neck of Abu Abdullah 12 times. 12 times, not once, 12 times. After its strike, Abu Abdullah would call out, Wa Muhammadah. Then Shimr would strike him again. Wa Aliyah. Then Shimr would strike him again. Wa Hasana. Then again, Wa Jaffer. Then again, Wa Hamza. Then again, Wa Aqila. Then again, Wa Abbasa. Then again, Wa Qatila. Then again, Wa Killat al-Nasara. Then the final time he strikes him, then he calls out, Wa Gharibata. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Saya'lamu alladhina zalamu ayya munqalabin yanqalibun.